This conference will now be recorded.
SAC Integrated Financial Planning. We all know in FI, right? FI and CO, we used to perform some planning activities. So when it was ECC, at that time we used to perform some planning activities like KP06, KP26, where we plan cost center expenses, where we used to plan activity price planning, then standard cost estimate, updating that standard cost estimate in the middle master, MRP run. So many planning processes involved at that time in ECC. After that, even now S4 HANA available, in S4 HANA also you can perform these planning scenarios. So what SAP did, few years back, they come up with S4 HANA. So the financial planning in S4 HANA, S4 HANA we all know, which is like OLTP and OLAP both together, S4 HANA system, integrated system. So in S4 HANA system, they integrated BPC optimized. All right. So BPC optimized, using BPC optimized, whatever earlier we used to do it in ECC like KP06, KP26, cost center expenses planning, activity price planning. For that, they developed all the input templates, required calculations, integration to the P&L statement. For the planning, they developed in BPC optimized. They added as part of S4 HANA. After few years, what SAP did, all those screens like operational expenses, sales and profitability planning, product cost planning, capex planning, all those they moved to SAC. They developed SAC content and they installed in SAC. So now all those planning scenarios we are going to execute in SAC. That's what SAC Integrated Financial Planning. Another name for this is S4 HANA Financial Planning. So S4 HANA Financial Planning or SAC Integrated Financial Planning, both are same. For all planning scenarios, FI planning scenarios, in order to prepare a P&L statement, planned P&L statement, planned balance sheet, planned cash flow, SAP developed content. They named that content as integrated financial planning content. So here there are why they developed in SAC integrated finance. So when the same scenarios were possible in S4 HANA, in ECC, in BPC, then why they moved all those scenarios to SAC? Because of SAC's capabilities. SAC is very good tool for analytics, planning, and predictive. We all know that. For example, if you think about BPC, BPC basically good for planning. Yeah. Analytics again we have to depend on BW or BO somewhere, dashboards and all those. BPC optimized, it's okay, but only S4 HANA companies it's good. So, and the front end wise, if you observe BPC and this SSC front end and the calculation, stories, pages, all those, and charts, dashboarding, all those techniques are very good in SSC. So, what are the benefits you have in SSC? Why we have to move to SSC? So, for example, if your customer asks you like, why I have to move from BPC to SSC? So I'm going to show you all those capabilities of SAC now in this particular presentation. You can explain the same to your customer. And the same thing we are going to cover in this particular course. So we have rich modeling here. So in order to perform, in order to create a planning scenario for the future, we need to create models, dimensions. So here it's very easy to develop these modeling screens. You can develop your models, including the dimensions, and you have many capabilities within the model, converted measures, currency translation relevant settings, data locking relevant settings, all those are part of this modeling. You can perform top-down and bottoms-up planning. For sales, you can use top-down planning. For the expenses, you can go for bottoms-up planning. You have very good distribution panel. You can distribute the data, so you can plan at top level and you can distribute, so the top-down options are available. At the bottom level, like cost center expenses, you can plan against cost center and GL account, and system can aggregate the data to company code level or whatever granularity you want. You can perform what if simulations. It's when compared to BPC or any other product, what if simulations are very good in SAC Analytics Cloud, SAP Analytics Cloud. So when you completed your planning scenario, you submitted the data, and the board says like you just need to decrease or increase your raw material prices. Your entire planning scenario completed: operational expenses, product cost, capex, financial statement planning, sales and profitability planning. So when you change the raw material prices now, where it is going to affect, right? So what if simulations? If I changed the raw material price, it is going to change my product cost. When it changes my product cost, it is going to change my cost of goods sold. When I change my cost of goods sold, it changes my net income in the P&L statement. It affects my balance sheet and cash flow. So this kind of what if simulation you can automate in the system.
Kiran, your voice is not clear. Would you please check it and
Yeah, yeah. So what if simulations we can perform. Then versioning. So we have a lot of SAC users. Planning means it's all based on assumptions.
Kiran, your voice is not clear. Am I audible?
You are audible. The problem is with you.
Yeah.
Kindly
I
restrict.
can hear
Problem is
you, Kiran.
Yeah. So you just check from your side, please. My voice is clear. It's other participants are not having any problem. Please check from your side. So what if simulations? We just understood. Then versioning. Versioning very important for this particular group, SAC Analytics Cloud. You can copy whatever the data you want into a private version or public version, and you can change it. So initially you can create like a private version. You can add all your changes. Once you get the feedback, once you are okay, then you can publish it as a public dimension. That concept is unique for this SAC, not available in BPC or any other product. Driver based planning. You have value driver trees here. It looks like a fishbone, and you change the drivers, and when you change the drivers, you can see the impacts in the higher level. If I change the price index, then how the prices are changing, and when the prices are changing, how it is affecting my net income, how it is affecting my gross income, or gross income, and how it is affecting my net income. We can check. We have predictive forecasting. We have different techniques, predictive techniques. Using those predictive techniques, the system helps the user to estimate the future. And then you have commentary options. You can do the comments in the input templates. You have workflow option. You have task assignment options. You have something called calendar. In the calendar, you can develop your process controls, which is called as workflow. Task assignments, which are like I can create general task, review task, and I can assign it to the respectable persons or responsible persons, and workflow can be enabled there. We have very good allocation engine here. Whatever allocations we used to perform in S/4HANA, all those allocations for the planning you can perform here in SAC. You can define your drivers, you can define your source, you can define your target, and it's kind of a graphical interface. You can easily map your source, targets, and drivers. And reporting wise, it's very good tool. You can have different charts. You can do the actual versus plan comparison, variance calculations, all those here in the particular reports. I mean, SAC Analytics Cloud. Excel integration is an add-on. We are not going to discuss Excel integration because for the trial user it's not available. Remaining all we are going to understand. So modeling, right? So when you see the modeling capabilities, it's kind of dimensions. Master data when you create, it's kind of Excel here. So the Excel you can add, you can remove the members, you can load your S4HANA data to here in the dimensions. And models also you can create directly in the particular screen. You can add version, date, account, organization, structure relevant dimensions. You can create hierarchies for the dimensions. You can add new properties in the dimensions. Then you can see the data entry screen kind of so here you can add rows and columns, whatever columns you want. Multiple columns you can add, not a problem. Multiple columns in the nested dimensions you can use. And you can change the figures here. You see some data is read only data, actual data read only, plan data is changeable. You can add comments. This blue icon, which is basically we added a comment. The user added a comment for the figure, for the number here. You can use plus minus to increase decrease the values. So it's that input template, same like BPC. You can compare your actuals and forecast, and you can, if you want to change the forecast or plan values, you can change it. And within the templates, you can add multiple calculations. You can see how many calculations are available. You can add restricted key figures. You can add calculated key figures. You can add conversion relevant calculations. All the formulas are available, so you can have your cumulative sum, so some listed here, right? All those ranked numbers, all those things you can enable here. So as I said, like private version and public version. So if I'm the performer of the planning, so the performer can plan copy the actual data or any other version data, and he can add its changes to the newly created private version. Once he is okay, he can move the data to public version so that all can uh, view that particular public version data. Then we can create master data from the input template itself. We have an option, we can right click, we have add member, so I can add a new member. So the end user can open the story and from here only. So earlier we used to call like members on the fly member data. So now it's part of story. We call it as story. All the input templates, we keep it under one particular story, and that story, in that story, we can we can have multiple pages, and each page can have some widgets like charts, tables, right? When the all those together, we call it a story. So in the story, you can add members also. We have data lockings. The concept is same for a particular data region, like for a particular, once my planning completed, once it's approved, i want to I want to lock that particular data. So that's where data locking come into picture. So once my planning is completed, once it's approved, no one should change the data. So at that time I need to lock the data. So you have a data region, you can say like whether that particular data region data entry is open or restricted or closed in the sense locked. So allocations, as I said, you can see here allocation rules. You have source, you have target, you have drivers. Based on these drivers, you can allocate source data to the target. If you have complex calculations, you have advanced formulas here. In BPC, we used to have script logic. In BPC embedded, we had formulas, Fox formulas. Now in here, in the SSC, we have scripts. We can use scripts. Also, the scripts are called as advanced formulas to write our custom code. So this is what data actions, right? I can I can I have some calculations where I need to calculate the data and I need to store the data in the database. In the model, I want to store the data. So we use data, we call it as data actions here. Earlier, as I said, like earlier, we used to call like script logic in BPC. Here we call it as data actions. Using data actions, I can create, orchestrate, and execute complex multi-step planning operations. Also, I can generate calculations here. You see, this is the code we are going to write. It's a very simple code. So this is advanced formulas part of the course. We are going to create some formulas so that we can understand how to use these formulas for our calculations, planning calculations. You have multiple currencies here. You can, it's very good solution for the currencies. You can have one currency, local currency. You can have group currency, and group currency can be saved. Local currency can be saved in the model. And if you want some currencies as reporting purpose, in the story you can use conversion measures and you can do that. And you can use fixed exchange rates, constant rates. If you want to use previous year exchange rates for the current budget, you can do that. So all those options are available. As I said, value derivatory as a fishbone. It's a drive for the driver based planning you can use. If you change at the bottom level here, the sales growth percentage or price index percentage, that is going to change your upper level figures. And predictive forecasting, as I said, so SAP delivered some predictive tools, predictive techniques like automatic forecast, linear regression. So using those techniques, system is going to propose the values. See here, based on a linear regression, it is proposing some values. And the values you can apply to your input template so that the user gets some help from the system to identify the numbers. Later they can increase or decrease. And these collaboration tools, so any product should have collaboration within the system, like you can chart with within the system. You have collaboration tools like this. You can start discussions with your colleagues. You can share the story whatever you want to them within the collaboration tool. You can add comments, you can update the data using these collaboration tools. And stories, as I said, multiple pages are part of one story. Each page can have tables, widgets, and all those. So we are going to understand entire planning processes. Also, we are going to understand, once we understand all these product capabilities, we are going to understand integrated financial planning. When I
Kiran,
say
sorry,
integrated, yep,
Kiran, sorry, I
yep, go
have a
ahead.
question. What is the difference between IFP and the rapid financial planning? Because in the content in SAC, you can also install rapid financial planning. It's more or less the
Yeah,
same.
same only. So in that rapid financial planning, you have only financial content, only this part. Okay, so directly you can plan these financial statements. When you say integrated financial planning, you have different models where you are going to plan silos, then you are going to integrate.
Ah, okay. Thanks, Kiran.
Yeah. So here, operational expenses planning, we are going to understand integrated financial planning. So as part of integrated financial planning, as a planning consultant, you are going to implement some financial planning scenarios, which includes operational expenses, product cost planning, sales and profitability planning, capital expenditure planning, and financial statement planning. And all these planning scenarios are tightly integrated. That's why it's called integrated financial planning. In the operational expenses planning, I can allocate my operational expenses. That is one process. Another process, I can calculate my activity prices, which I use for product cost planning. In the product cost planning, I can plan my raw material prices and my quantity structure. So once I calculate the product cost, I can multiply with the sales quantity which is planned in the sales planning. I can calculate the cost of goods sold. I can calculate my sales revenue within this model. Then from the capital expenditure planning, I can get asset values, new asset values, and depreciation I can move to operational expenses. So we are going to understand what is the modeling required for this, what are the dimensions added for all this, what are the sources, actual data sources for these particular scenarios, and we are going to execute all these planning scenarios, and we are going to test the integration within the system. So here the entire first we are going to understand the product. Yeah, so it's the main objective initially. Most of the time we are going to learn the product because product is important. Once you know the product, then only you can understand the planning scenarios. So we are going to we are going to understand the features of SAC planning. Then we are going to design the dimensions, configuring the models, and we are going to load the data via flat files. And we are going to test, we are going to, all these are hands-on, so we are going to execute parallelly. I'm going, when I create the dimension, same time you are also going to create the dimension. When I add the members, you are going to add the members. I will share all the required files for the hands-on. We are going to execute parallelly. And then core functionalities, core planning functionality, we are going to execute distribution, spread, assigning, all those translating currencies. Yeah, and then forecasting techniques, and you have this size exercise, this side exercise, this side lessons. Then data actions, and we are going to understand uh, advanced formulas also, and allocation processes we are going to create. And then we are going to understand collaboration tools. So in the collaboration tools, we have validations in the sense for this particular profit center, we can use this particular cost center. So that kind of validations we can develop. For a particular cost center, if I want to restrict set of GL accounts, I can go for the validation. So those validations we are going to understand. Process controls like BPFs in BPC, so that we are going to execute. Calendar tasks we are going to understand, and we are going to execute in the system. So after that, we are going to understand our financial planning processes. So this is all about the course content. Tomorrow we'll discuss the overview. So after that, so total these sessions are planned around 30 hours. 30 hours sessions planned. All are weekend sessions, Saturday and Sunday. We will connect 9 p.m. India time to 11 p.m. India time from next week. So tomorrow it will be something around half an hour or 40-minute session, but next week onwards it's around 22 hours, minimum 2 hours session. So Saturday 2 hours we will connect, and Sunday 2 hours we'll connect. I will share all the configuration steps and PDF documents. So no need to worry if you miss a session, because the configuration steps clearly mention. I create all the configuration steps, right? I add in a document so you can easily follow and you can create those settings. Course fees, it's around 30,000 INR, and for the practice we are going to use the SAC trial user. I'm going to share sample master data and transaction data files for practice, and you can attend these sessions 2 times, right? And if you want to attend third times, you can attend third time also, not a problem. For the third time, I will charge something around 6,000. Yeah. So this is all about this course. Any questions?
Uh, Kiran, is BPC and this SAP SAC is both are similar features have, or there are advanced features in this analytics cloud?
See both. So SAC used for planning, BPC used for planning, right? Now when you compare BPC and SAC, it has driver-based planning. It has what-if simulations. You can perform top-down planning here, right? So, and you can add members on the fly. So many features available in SAC, many extra features, and even predictive forecasting not available in BPC, available here. Graphical allocations not available in BPC, available here. Yeah. So it's It's advanced one when you compare with BPC.
So statistics is involved here in this. I mean,
Stat analytics you are talking about. You are
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about analytics stats. So analytics in SAC, analytics also you can implement, but analytics not part of. So creating dashboards, those things not part of the course. Only plan. In this course, we are going to understand planning part.
Okay, not like there is histograms or null hypothesis, test of
No,
hypothesis. We are
no,
not
no,
discussing.
no. That is separate course,
Okay.
right? Any other questions from
Kiran,
other
I have
participants?
one question.
Yeah,
I have one question.
yeah,
Planning means can we do COPA planning also in this SAC?
yeah. Sales and profitability planning. So it's nothing but the COPA planning only. See,
Okay.
COPA planning, when you say even you want profitability, you might be looking at your profitability based on a product, based on a plant, based on a profit center, based on a customer, right? So,
Yes, correct.
so that is what the market segment you call, right? So here that we perform in sales and profitability planning, which is part
Okay.
of the course. Yeah,
And
you see
what
this.
about yeah, BPC? It is we have a consolidation. We are doing the BPC consolidation and BPC. If you move to
Mm.
the SAC, can we do consolidation reporting also like a group reporting, or we have to go for the different module, or can we do it in SAC?
As I said, analytics. So using SAC analytics, you can perform any reporting requirement like FICO, PP, group reporting, right? You can fetch the data and you can perform. But we
I
are
mean,
not going to uh, cover that one in this course. It's only for planning.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. In SAC, BPC, it is we are doing the consolidation and BPC. Is SAC can support consolidation also, or we
No,
have to go to the different
for
module
us,
of group report?
so group reporting, you have to perform the consolidation. For the consolidation reports, you can use SS.
Consolidation report we can use SAC. Okay. And BW also we are using for analytical reporting. Then that we can use SAC can support, correct? That feature
Mm,
it is
correct.
we can. Okay.
Mm.
I mean
Right,
our
please.
basically
Yeah.
basically
Mm.
with the
Go
BI
ahead.
and BPC, and along with that the combining with SAC can support this both the modules, and on top of that we have to go for the add-on is a additional one is a group reporting. Is it my understanding correct?
No, group reporting is basically S4 HANA module, right? It's like kind of
Yes.
FI. Group reporting is a module in S4 HANA, right?
Yes.
SAC, you can perform analytics, which are like reports, dashboards, those perform. You can perform. That's one part. Another part, SAC planning, like BPC planning. You can perform SAC planning here. Only
Okay.
BPC in the BPC only planning part you can perform in SAC. Yeah.
Only planning.
So then also predictive analytics. So we used to have predictive analytics, right, in BO. So this predictive analytics also added in SAC. That also you can perform. All right.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
just now we mentioned that COPA also we can do. This is the last question. Can we do comparison or actual and plan reports, analytical reports in SAC?
Here you see variance analysis reporting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank,
Any other questions
thank
from other
you.
participants? Yeah.
Kiran, this we need what are the free requisites like Tableau, ClickView, or Alteryx is required for this,
So for
or
this, if you don't have any prior product knowledge, that's okay. But if you have finance, what is planning, right? What is, I mean, finance some knowledge, that is added advantage. You should have that capability. If you know Power BI or Tableau, or if you don't know Power BI or Tableau, no problem. I mean, that doesn't have any impact on the product learning.
uh, uh,
Yeah. So I'm stopping the recording.